Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. We finally do have full details of Star-Lord Stellar Forged, and obviously we kind of know what to expect here. It is the same playbook they are using with the Deathless. They are basically taking the old kits and kind of putting a twist on them, and with varied levels of success, I might add. And just like with the Deathless champions, when it comes to Star-Lord, there are several cool things that they have kind of modernized and changed up and are cooler, and there are some things that they have kind of taken away. But before we get to anything else, why I called him a Prestige Lord is because he's actually a top 20 Prestige champion, and I'm not kidding. 33,460 actually placed him right in between Imperiosa and Caroline Dean, so he would be spot number 19, top 20 Prestige champion in the game. And, well, that doubtless will make sure that we actually do the SIG 200 Star-Lords here in rotation. But that put aside, survivability 2, damage 5, ease of use 4, utility 3, defender strength 2. It is worth noting that his maximum damage output has definitely been decreased, and let me kind of get to that point. But first things first, obviously he's a skill class champion now. He's going to have access to cruelty, incinerate, vulnerability, combo shields, precision buffs, stuff like that. So building combo meter increases critical damage, light attacks build combo meter quickly. Special attack 1 fires the element gun, so his special attacks are reversed. His level 2 now is going to be that rocket knee, and level 1 is going to be the element gun. Change the element with the medium 2, and it auto rotates after each special attack. Now it goes in like sequential order as well. Fire and earth elements increase the damage. Water element grants combo meter. Air element extends other elements. So defender summary, basically nothing. He's not defender, don't worry about it. But he does have a fractured power bar, just like the idols did. Again, so first things first, Star-Lord's stellar enhancement grants him a fractured power bar. The hit following a critical hit has 10% increased combat power rate, so the more you crit, you gain slightly more power. The duration of Star-Lord's effects all benefit from class advantage. The increased duration of class advantage is shown in the brackets for each effect. It's basically 40% increase, so he's going to be significantly better against Science champions specifically. The problem there is that in Science champions, like, and again, this is me being a bit of a meta rat, but like thinking like which Science champions would you fight? He doesn't really have any mechanics against like Photon, for instance. Then obviously against Thing, you don't want to hit too hard to begin with, and then against like Spider-Woman, he can't prevent their weight. So I'm not entirely sure again how well he's going to turn out, and realistically we're not expecting these champions to be competitive. I just want them to be fun, you know, and have some sort of use in the game somewhere at some point. And I'm sure that Star-Lord will, with lots of shiny new crits. So at the start of the fight, Star-Lord gains a combo shield passive for 30 or 42 seconds. I'm not going to read the bracket things, but basically just keep in mind against Science champions, everything's like 40% longer. So light and heavy attacks grant +1 combo meter, so you do ramp up faster. Each time Star-Lord crosses a combo threshold of 20, he gains an indefinite persistent cruelty charge, increasing critical damage rating by 493. Max stacks 20. So you can basically get like 10,000 critical damage rating. Now, the difference is that critical rating is also subject to diminishing returns, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be hitting all that harder, noticeably harder the higher you go. The thing that will help you is going to be the attack increase rating for persistent charge. However, unfortunately, it is only 127 attack rating per persistent charge that you get once in 20 of your stacks. Maximum that would be, again, 20 of these, so that would count as like 2.5k attack, which is actually not that much. 2.5k attack on a champion whose, you know, base stack would be like 4. It's not a huge attack increase, and that's kind of going to be my worry. The champion, he will have much lower damage ceiling than OG Star-Lord does. He's going to probably ramp up faster. He's going to crit a lot more for sure. And in short fights, he will be faster. But they have kind of obliterated his max damage ceiling. Because here, for instance, you gain 234 attack rating for each hit in the combo meter, up to 400. and that's also a 6-star rank 5. So if we whip out a calculator here, and put it right next to it, it used to be 234 times 400, you get 93,000 attack rating, and that's been replaced with like 2,000 attack rating. So he definitely will have significantly smaller max damage ceiling. Then again, realistically speaking, I don't think that is that big of a deal as long as his damage in short fights is very good. Because, you know, who here has last time taken their Star-Lord to 400 combo meter or done anything with the Star-Lord, realistically? Like, if you would get a 7-star Star-Lord, like, how high of a combo meter in a generic fight would you get to? So, I don't take it, like, as an absolute deal breaker, but it is what it is. He does have much lower damage ceiling potential at maximum level, but he should be ranking much faster, and he should be getting more damage from actually critting and landing the critical hits. Especially because heavy attack, each hit grants a precision buff, granting almost 1000 critical rating for 15 seconds, max stacks 2. So you do want to get a few of these up, well, both of them up. You're going to have 2k critical rating with, you know, potentially up to 10k critical damage rating, and effectively they have made Star-Lord into a rocket. It's kind of what it is. It works similarly to rocket, basically. Right. But there you go. Element gun rotation. Star-Lord's element gun rotates through 4 elemental nodes, starting with Earth, rotating to the next element in order each time element gun is fired during special attacks 1 or 3. The element is also rotated when Star-Lord lands a second medium attack, so you can manually switch them. Element gun effects. Non-stacking, that's super important to note. Earth, inflict vulnerability debuff for 15 seconds, reducing physical and energy resistance by 1500. That's kind of nice. Fire, inflict critical incinerate debuff, dealing 6381 energy damage multiplied by Star-Lord's critical damage multiplier, or 15 seconds. Water, gain a combo weave passive for 10 seconds. And pause all other element gun effects for 10 seconds. Now, the cool thing is that in level 1, first of all, you shoot your element gun with level 1. That immediately means that you have much more access to your element gun. Right? You don't need to build up to 2 bars power, 1 bar will suffice, and you can spam your level 1s. The last hit fires the element gun and its current elemental mode. If this attack is a well-timed special, the next element in order is also activated. So you can actually activate 2 of these effects at a time. Performing well-timed specials will greatly increase the damage output of a stellar hero. Intercepting the opponent with a special attack is one of the most reliable methods to trigger a well-timed special. I'm not entirely 100% sure of the exact mechanics here, how a well-timed special works. We're going to get to see that, but I don't think it should be anything like too difficult. But ultimately, you know, with a bit of practice, you can get 2 of these effects at a time on, and because one of these effects is like you pause all elemental gun effects, I think you should be able to maintain basically all of these for most of the fight if you're spamming level 1s. Level 2 is the rocket kick. On activation, gain a combo shield passive for 20 seconds. This attack is a guaranteed critical hit. So this can also be like a nice finishing move, I suppose, because yeah, guaranteed crits are always nice. Then again, he will be critting a ton anyways. Special attack 3, Heroic Blast, fires the element gun in its current elemental mode. Each other element can also activate with each chance matching Star-Lord's current critical hit chance. Refresh all elemental gun effects that are already active. Signature ability, the Founder's Skillful Awakening. While Combo Shield is active, again, you do get 1 at the beginning of the fight. You do get 1 on your level 2. Precision buffs on Star-Lord expire 50% slower. That's kind of nice because, again, at the beginning of the fight, you can drop your heavies and your precisions will last significantly longer. During Star-Lord special attacks, he takes 75% reduced damage from all sources. That kind of is just a little bit of, you know, Power Sting-esque type of protection. But it's not kind of good enough for you to ignore Power Stings in, you know, competitive scenarios. Anyways, but there you go. It's basically that. So whilst you're launching a special attack, it's Power Sting insurance. Right. All that said, I think they did a solid job, you know, changing him up. But again, at the same time, it's kind of, to me, clear that he will not really have many great matchups, I think. Unless his damage is, like, insane. Like, Cull levels of damage. I think... Again, unless it's, like, Cull levels of damage, I don't think we're actually gonna end up using him a ton in competitive situations because of the matchups. Because if we do go to the matchmaking sheet, which I am set to kind of like revisit in near future, again, in the science class, he doesn't have anything particularly to help him against like Photon or Spider-Woman or Thing, and he will only have his damage to rely on. So I'm sure there are like, you know, a handful of champions that he can do here. And if his damage is good enough, we might actually see him get used here or there. But realistically, that's not what these kind of like collect pieces champions have been about. Again, like with the Deathless, the first 4 ones are there to do specific things in a game and not be too serious kind of competitive champions. And then the Doctor Doom is meant to be the one that actually makes a massive impact on the meta. So, you know, it's perfectly fine. And as long as, you know, he's fun, and as long as we all, you know, realize who he is and what he's for, I think that's perfectly fine. Again, not every champion has to be amazing. Obviously, like as a player, as a content creator, I wish that every champion, you know, would be good enough to be impactful or at the very least useful in more competitive situations. But I'm perfectly fine with the fact that, you know, some champions are just not meant for everything. And there we go. So he does have some nice synergies as well with all Stellar Forge champions, for instance. He has another way to get combo shield passives, which can be quite helpful. And then with Patriot, Danny, Moonstar, and Starlord, once per fight, activating special attack grants combo shield passive for 20 seconds. Again, that's also kind of helpful for him to make those precisions last longer. And while combo shields active, gain 8% attack rating. I don't think that really does too much. But there you go. That's basically Starlord. So what I have done is I feel like he's gonna kind of ramp up quicker. He's gonna start critting quite a bit and hit quite hard relatively early on, which generally is a very, very good thing. And then obviously his max damage ceiling has been lowered, which in theory would kind of make him more competitive, play compatible champion. It's just that, again, I don't think he answers really any of the utility questions that are out there, because he, again, doesn't really, you know, shrug off debuffs, prevent evade, bypass miss, stuff like that. And matchup-wise, he might struggle against, like, the gnarliest of the defenders. But he should be quite fun champion to play around with. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have